Mavs fans, Mavs people, Mavs analysts and all these people get so excited, but it never comes of anything. Now, you did get Porzingis. You got Porzingis in the trade. I think Porzingis will be an all-star player. I think Luka's going to be an all-star player. I don't know that much about Delon Wright, but I do know he was a closer and a key player with Toronto. And if he can bring that over here, then that's good. Mo says, I roll with UNC as well. He could be Iverson or Telefair. Ooh. I hope it's more so on the Iverson side. I agree. The Nets are definitely a contender in the East now, A grade, says my pops. But this first year is not going to be that good. Big L says Dallas got one, so be happy, Ben. I am happy. I am. You got Porzingis, which if anything happened with the Mavs not getting Porzingis, that would have been the worst pickup of all time. The worst pickup of all time if that was to happen. So if I had to give my Mavs a grade, I would say I would give them a B. I think they added who they needed to. Do that. I would give them a B. And you're tuned into the weekend wrap-up show, episode 138. Happy birthday, Dak. My homeboy MJ is too tight. The Hornets will never win. You got to be willing to spend money. And it sounds like Kemba wanted to stay, but Kemba wanted to go somewhere with the legacy of winning. That's what he said. And he decided to go to Boston. But guess what? You're going to have to be a leader in a leadership role, and it's not going to be easy either. You're going to have to depend on some young guys, which I think these young guys will do good, but you're going to have to depend on them. So I was thinking about this on the way into work today. I was thinking about the best one-season rental in the NBA. So I'm saying when you trade someone mid-season, they come over to a team, and I think it's got to be Kawhi. I was trying to think in my mind, what other player was traded mid-season was traded on a one-year rental. So it could be mid-season, it could be during the off-season, whenever. But it has to be Kawhi. The way he helped this team, not only helped them, but arguably you could say put the team on his back. I can't think of any better one-year rental player than Kawhi. I'm going to say NBA. I'm not going to speak outside of the NBA. I'm going to say NBA. Says Mike ain't spending no extra money on no players. So if there's anybody else that you guys can think of, because I was trying to think of a guy that got traded on 1 year remaining on his deal and led his team to a championship. And honestly, I cannot think of anybody else. But I would definitely say that was a huge pickup, smart move. As many people ragged on what Toronto did with Dwayne Casey and everything that they went through, it truly shows the grit of as a player. Being the boss, looking at the time clock and been looking at the same time, maybe you're right about that. I'm looking at that clock. I'm definitely looking at that clock. You know, we got about 8 minutes left in the show, weekend wrap-up show. But name any other one-year rental players you can think of in the NBA that are better than Kawhi. I can't think of one. Let's go back to the grades. I got the Bleacher Report story back up. Cleveland Cavaliers, B-. They had Darius Garland, Kevin Porter Jr. They lose Channing Frye, J.R. Smith. That's a C. That's a C to me. I mean, you got rookies coming in. You don't know what you have. J.R. Smith exiting, which he really didn't play he probably played a handful of games for the Cavs, and they just paid him to not be there. Kevin Porter Jr. is supposed to be a really good player. I'll give the Cavs a C, in my opinion. I think they have a shot to be somewhat decent, but again, this is in the East, and it all depends on what the rookies are going to do. Dennis Rodman for 3 years, maybe. That's a good point there. That is a good point. Kawhi for that 1 year, what Kawhi was able to do in 1 year, no other player for the Raptors were able to do that. Not Vince Carter, not DeMar DeRozan, none of those guys. And Kawhi basically helped do it in 1 year. Mavs are rebuilding again, C grade. The West is too stacked for the team to win anything in the near future. You're right, bearing any type of injury. But you got stacked teams in the West. Lakers, Clippers, Portland, the Jazz, Houston, which Westbrook said he's not worried about matching up with Harden. And if he's not worried about it, I think that's actually a positive thing. If he's not worried about it, then it seems like they're going to work together to really make this thing work. This is something that they both wanted. So they had the Russell Westbrook conference this weekend. So I think, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I think it's going to be an all LA conference finals. I do. Both of these teams have what it takes. And any team with Kawhi and LeBron on it has got a shot to do something. Any team with either one of those guys on it have a shot or an opportunity to do something. So you have to, you got to understand that. Day one. So if you heard of Kevin Beard, I talked about this on Saturday. He is the highest paid safety in the NFL, member of the Tennessee Titans. He is saying that he's going to clap back at Deion because Deion basically came at him and said he doesn't really know who he was, which I didn't really know who he was either. But he says if he makes it to the Hall of Fame, he is definitely going to throw some shots at Prime, which he should, if he makes it. I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying if he does, like I said, I'm a Kevin, but I get me. Only got to demand it. And according to Bleacher Report, they give the Mavs a B, which I think I'm okay with that. They lost Devin Harris, Dirk, obviously, Salah Mejri, Trey Burke. So you're not losing a lot right there. Also, they added Seth Curry. The Denver Nuggets get an A. Notable exits, Isaiah Thomas, Trey Lyles. They added Bol and Jeremy Grant, and they extended Jamal Murray. Is that really an A, though? I mean, that doesn't really look like an A to me, in my opinion. I think it's probably a B. But if you're able to re-sign your best player, you definitely got to give them something for that. Going on to the Pistons with a C+. They lost Glenn Robinson III, Wayne Ellington, Zaza Pachulia. Not very many players there that you're not losing a lot. They had D Rose, good pickup. Markieff Morris, good pickup. Also, they drafted Sako Doumbouya. We'll see. He's a rookie. Golden State gets a B. They lose a lot of players. KD, obviously. Andre Iguodala. Andrew Bogut. Boogie Cousins. Jordan Bell. That's a huge part of their offense right there. They re-signed Clay, re-signed Looney. They add Alec Burks, D'Angelo Russell, Amari Spellman, Willie Cauley-Stein. I think a B is definitely fair with the Warriors. I think it is. You lost a lot, but you gained some depth, and you gained the winner of the most improved player. So that definitely gives you something there. Houston Rockets with a B-, losing CP3, losing Mon Shumpert, Nene, but you pick up former NBA MVP Westbrook, Ben McLemore, Tyson Chandler. I think a B is definitely fair right there. We will pick this up probably on Friday's show. We got the Pacers where we left off at with a B+. Golden State will not make the playoffs. The West is no joke. I think they'll still make the playoffs. Will they win a championship this upcoming year? I don't think so, but I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the weekend wrap-up show, episode 138. Happy birthday, Dak Prescott. That's my quarterback. So I'm going to leave you guys with a song by my man St. Jones. The song is titled 420. Coming up later on the network, you will have DJ Knox coming on at 3:30 Central. And then you got Midnight Love Jones coming on at 7 with the greatest. Make sure to tune in tomorrow to the Dope Music Podcast. It will be featuring some jazz music, maybe talk a little sports too. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a good rest of your day. God bless. God is love. And I'm out.
What's good? St. Jones, man. It's the songs for. You know what I mean? God is good, man. We come a long way. A lot of ups and downs, trials and tribulations. You know, all things work together, though. I wouldn't change it for no amount of money in the world. Listen, welcome to the mind of a man on a mission from up above. What's up with it? No condemning, I come in love. You lick a cup, sipping blunt, twisting, I know what's up. Cause I was once up in that club trying to fulfill my lust. But thank goodness I managed to meet a person whose purpose was seeing me free from believing I was worthless. Personally, I was dark, living, destroying the hearts of women. Fit for liquor every 24 hours was swimming. In the pool of cognac, back to back sinning. Cadillac whipping, hard crack pitching. 38 toting, smoking on that piffin', living fast like a cheetah. Rockstar driven, dreams of being the greatest rapper alive was on my grind. Shows in nightclubs, money on my mind. But then my mind started to overcloud with BS. Start thinking about death and thinking maybe I could be next. Suicidal thoughts, anxiety overload. Tripping when I'm high, down when I'm sober though. Needed something different, but I didn't know it though. Come to find out, the big difference was the Holy Ghost. Look, riding through the hood for 2013. Start tweaking, man, this high, it was the worst thing. Smoking with the homie, then I had to put it down. Paranoid as I took a look around. Didn't know what was wrong, but everything was great. Didn't believe in Jesus, but I knew I had to pray to God somewhere, somehow, right now. Didn't know which God, but I would soon find out. Pulled up to Granny's church. Chad asked me, yo, you good? Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock in the hood. Nobody at the church but the pastor, me and Chad. Asked, can I go pray? And she looked at me kinda sad. She could see the pain and confusion in my eyes as she replied, let me open up the door, go ahead and go inside. You wanna pray alone? You want me to pray too? I walk right straight up to that altar, God, I